In this video, I'm going to be talking about the kindness code, and I'm going to throw a little nursing twist in here because this blew my mind. Can probiotics tune you to a higher frequency? So I'm going to explain a little bit about all that. So, what if kindness isn't just a virtue? What if it's just a pure frequency? And what if the very bacteria in your gut is helping you to tune into that frequency? And I know it sounds crazy, but just hang in there with me because I think I'm on to something. And then you're going to go, I've always known that. I didn't. I'm a nurse and I did not know this. Okay, so in this talk, I'm going to share with you some surprisingly emotional shifts that happened for me and happened for my friend who was taking these probiotics at the same time. And the experience was just this simple recipe and how ancient energetic wisdom aligns with today's neuroscience and why healing your gut just might be the first step to activating higher consciousness and emotional coherence. It's so incredible. So let's explore what I'm calling the kindness code. So, all right, so here's the story. So somehow, like, my mom and I are sharing recipes, we're sharing exercises or doing things like that. And then she was telling me about this book that she read. So I'll just show you. I don't even know if you can see it the right way. Super Gut, William Davis, MD. He has a ton of YouTube videos, so you can really follow and listen. And so she was talking about how just if you've had antibiotics in the past or if your immune system's low and things like that, and that she was really excited about it, but it was going to require that she make this, I call it no gurt, because it's not like real yogurt. It is a fermented process. So it can taste like a very strong yogurt. You can add things to it. All right. So she was telling me how much better she was feeling. She was sleeping better. She was feeling better. And so she gave me a jar of this yogurt, I'm going to call it. And so you just kind of start off with a couple of tablespoons. All right, I'm going to go through the whole thing because she gave a jar also to my friend. Actually, I think she's the yogurt delivery person for our whole community now. But I thought that I would try it out. And I did notice I was sleeping better, but you know what else? My dreams started getting like really crazy. And it seemed to I started feeling better like right away. Now, my friend tends to be the practical one. It's like, well, I don't know. Well, I'll try it. Or if I say, wow, some really great things are happening. Yeah, but you never know when the other shoe's going to drop. That's the difference between our personalities. And so I started eating this yogurt. All right, I've probably been on it. It's a probiotic yogurt. So I've probably been on it about 2 months now. And suddenly I started feeling like really kind. Now, I am a kind person. Like that is my nature. But it wasn't just, oh, that's a nice thing to do. It was a deep, in the gut kindness. And it was more than that because I work from home. I don't get to engage with a lot of people, but suddenly I wanted to go out in the community and I wanted to go have a coffee with a friend, or we went to dinner, with a couple of people. I just went to dinner again last night. I went to lunch last week. Do you know how many times I go, how much I go out to eat like in a year? Like tops 10 times. And maybe 3 of those times might be with another person. So just saying. And so then I was noticing that. And then my friend started getting like super nice. And it's like normally something that would trigger them, they just would respond and say, yeah, I could see why that would be coming up for you. Is there any way I can support you? And I just looked at them like, what is wrong with you? And so there was this sense, or like I would ask, like, wow, your face looks different. And they would say, I'm happy, which I don't think I'd ever heard them say that true happiness. All right. So again, it's called, just the book, The Super Gut. Well, you know me as a psychic, as a clairvoyant, with a twist of my nursing, I just had to explore what the heck is happening with this kind of super gut, super healthy microbiome in my system. Okay, so I'm going to share another quick story with you. So my big thing's about anxiety, because depression, anxiety, stress is off the charts, right? It's off the charts. And so as a nurse, because it's such a global pandemic, I believe, stress, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, that I really wanted to find a solution to this problem. So stick with me here, because I'm going to start really connecting these dots. Why? Because the dots started connecting with me. Okay, so in 2020, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I did I needed to go through the whole thing. I needed to have the surgery. I needed to have chemotherapy and radiation. And when I was going through chemotherapy, it really did a number on my gut. And it was such a number on my gut that I probably had to go through like 3 cycles of antibiotics to get things turned around. And I was taking 2 antibiotics at the same time, and then they added a 3rd one later. So for those of you who know antibiotics can kill good bacteria and bad bacteria, I did not connect the dots. I'm a nurse. I did not connect the dots. So I ended up, it was in February of 2021 now. So by this time, I'm still just finishing up chemotherapy, starting radiation. I had the biggest, fullest panic attack of my life. I thought I was going to die. And for any of you out there who's had that type of panic attack, I never had anything like that before. I honestly thought I was going to die. And I was asking Yvonne, are you sure something bad's not happening? Are you sure? It's like I lost my capacity to tune into my inner knowing and my intuition. So what I didn't know then that I know now is I had no microbiome. I had no good bacteria left. And did you know that your gut produces the most serotonin, the feel-good hormone, is produced in your gut? And I didn't have any of those little microbes producing serotonin. It was just like the bottom fell out of my feel-good, hormones. And so it isn't until I started taking these probiotics and reading this book that I connected the dots. I'm like, that's what happened to me. And not one medical person related my panic or my high levels of anxiety. Nobody related it to my physical health. They relate it to my mental health. And so then they would make that leap. Well, yeah, you probably have panic because you thought you were going to die. It was like, no, I knew I wasn't going to die. But I couldn't put 2 and 2 together. All right. So that's my connection that I made. So with this probiotic and the super gut, it isn't like it's changing your emotional state. So in the very first chapter of this book, it talks about if your microbes are messed up in your gut, all you can feel is hatred. What? So if we get the microbes in the gut all sorted out, you don't feel hate anymore. So that's what I was saying. Like, I'm feeling kind, I'm feeling warm, I want to connect, I want to reach out and touch. And I'm like, how can this be? All right. So the yogurt I thought was just supporting my body, but I didn't know that it was going to support my emotional state in such a profound way. So the gut produces 90% of your serotonin. There is a certain bacteria, and I'm not going to get into the names of the bacterias, but they're the good bacteria. So it increases GABA, which is the calming sense for your body. So if your gut's messed up, you can do all the right things and maybe you can't feel calm. And it lowers, when you have good bacteria, your stress levels. They've done studies. Your stress levels go down. And so I was just like, okay, so you mean we could all be doing all the right things to try to decrease our stress, and it could be a gut issue? All right. And it helps increase the oxytocin levels, which is that bonding, kindness, and trust. And that's what I'm experiencing. So then they did, the vagus nerve carries signals between the gut and the brain. They did MRI studies to show that the brain changes when your microbiome improves. When the microbes in your gut get healthy, it actually shows up in an MRI scan. So I know this is kind of a metaphysical channel, but I'm super excited as a nurse about this. So I'm going to jump into the metaphysics here soon. Okay, so you are not just what you eat. You are what your microbes create from what you eat. And okay, let me get back. I'm too excited. So the microbes speak directly to your emotions. So there was a study in the year 2022 that found that probiotic induced gut changes that increased activity in parts of the brain that was linked to emotional processing. This is not, they did the study, it wasn't wishful thinking, this is biological kindness activation. Okay. So let's bring this now to the energetic level. Kindness is a frequency. It's not just a behavior. It has a measurable energetic signature of coherence and calm and open-heartedness. So they're basically saying, don't fake it till you make it, like get your gut healthy. It just blows my mind. Many of you who are sensitive, you could really experience the shifts of the earth's frequencies that have been happening, and there's a new softness, and there is truly a divine feminine tone that's energetically impacting us at that global level. So now here I was like, is this microbes in the gut, or is it just the frequency that's coming in from the blue light? That's a reasonable question to ask. But when you heal your gut, you heal your lower chakras. And when I'm working with students, this is the biggest thing, to get the student to be able to bring their light down into the lower chakras. So can you imagine if it's true, if this is truly true, that you can get the healthy buildup taking probiotics, and he says in his book there's certain probiotics you want to get high grade, but what if that really helped to shift things? So when we feel those sensitive movements of frequency and we heal our gut, we can clear any distortions. So your root chakra between your hips is all about survival. So let's say you're just stuck on survival mode, not thrival mode. Your emotions is the next chakra up, and your power center and boundaries and self-esteem is the next chakra up. those lower three chakras that are impacted by how healthy your gut is are really impacted. And can you imagine if you could get the gut healthy, that those chakras could just start singing and be really bright, that you can put down the shovel. You don't have to get in there and keep digging, like, why are these chakras stuck? It's opened up a whole new world for me, as you can tell. So the microbiome may act like a tuning fork, helping you harmonize with the rising collective tone. And so this is what I saw when I'm looking at this. So I asked to see clairvoyantly a human energy field where the gut's really toxic. There's a lot of bacteria and microbes that are in part of the small intestines that maybe belong in the large intestines. And so the small intestines don't know how to process it, and it can be toxic and get in the bloodstream and you don't feel good. What I could see was that the auric field of that person, my imaginary person, kind of deflates. It gets kind of heavy, it gets wet. Whenever I see heavy, wet auric field, it means high levels of inflammation. And inflammation is really hard on your body. It is super hard on your body. It's like being in stress all the time. Your body can hardly, just has to work harder when you have a lot of inflammation. And my body tends to lean towards inflammation, so I have to really watch it. So then I looked at the human energy field of someone who's now got the microbes in their gut really healthy. Well, it was like this whole efficiency system. The whole brain lit up, like everything got brighter. It's almost like if the person was talking, like light was coming out of their mouth, like it was healthy all the way up through the esophagus, through all the intestines. The auric field was stronger. Now I'm still seeing that there was some inflammation there just from living daily life. But here's the thing that really shocked me, that it was almost like those little healthy microbes were communicating with those higher frequencies, and those higher frequencies were communicating with our body and the microbes in our gut, and the serotonin and all that GABA stuff is communicating back. So could it be that those little microbes are more than just digestion, that maybe they communicate light, like a light code? Do you all think I'm stretching it here a little bit? This is what I can tell you about me. I call it going down the rabbit hole, and this is a rabbit hole. Okay. So this gets more interesting. So cells in the gut contain DNA, and DNA responds to light, vibration, and biochemical signals. So the healthier microbes can increase cellular receptivity to light and the plasma frequencies flowing through the collective field. A clean gut means better reception for higher states of consciousness and multidimensional information. So whoever thought it's like, okay, I'm going to go on a raw diet, or I'm going to do a lot of yoga, I'm going to meditate a couple hours a day, I'm going to go to the Amazon and do ayahuasca, like there's a whole shopping list of spiritual things that you can do. And now you want to add to that list healthy gut. So healing your gut just might be one of the most grounded, practical, sacred ways to prepare your body to carry more light, to receive, to integrate the divine frequencies of awakening. Okay, so then I was asking Spirit some questions about mental illness. And the reason why I was asking this question is because, and I know those of you who've had a panic attack will understand, I was so derailed by that severe panic attack. It's like coming in my house, closing the door, lock, chain. I thought I was in harm's way. It was not rational at all. And so I was mentally derailed. So I asked the question, is spirit? And it said yes, that this unhealthy gut, an unhealthy, it's more than just diet. It's just more than just diet. That it can cause someone to be mentally compromised. So then I thought, well, let me go do some research on this and see if anybody has studied this with probiotics. Oh my God, you're going to love this. So I typed in bipolar and schizophrenia. Probiotics showed, this is a study, showed gut health benefits, cognitive proves, meaning your ability to track a conversation and track a thought improved. And as they took the probiotics, they reduced rehospitalizations. Like, you know how sometimes they just end up in the hospital again and again and again. Now, I did read another study, and they said, you know, if someone's had schizophrenia or bipolar, like at severe levels for a long time, you may not see quick results. So like for me, which I had a bad gut from chemotherapy, I've been on this 2 or 3 months, and I just now started to kind of feel that kindness and that light. All right. So then I asked about if there were studies about probiotics and depression and anxiety. The stronger evidence of daily probiotic use is linked to better moods, more emotional balances, and reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety. So then I wanted to know about addiction and drug addiction, alcohol addiction. So there's been studies. Addiction recovery participants who experienced in improving they took probiotics, and they found improved general mental health, much lower stress levels, anxiety levels, depression symptoms. Does it make them not want to do the drug and not drink? I'm not saying that, but wouldn't it be great if you didn't have all that other stuff to deal with when you're trying to stay sober every day? Okay, now this one, I'm a nurse, so I don't want to gross you out or anything, but this I found mind-blowing. There was a case where there was a woman who had severe bipolar disorder. Now, they did a fecal transplant. Now, I don't know if you know what that is, but let's say that you don't have any good bacteria, like it is all gone. Like, remember I said I was on like several antibiotics, like it's just done, it's gone. What they will do is just take like from a family member, and they will just introduce a stool sample full of healthy bacteria into this patient's gut. So they were able to start returning some healthy gut microbiome. This person reportedly entered full remission after their gut was restored. I would like to think that that's possible. As a nurse and as someone, I've worked with a lot of people with mental illness, and if it could come down to that, love it. So this is not just emotional wellness. This is a return to wholeness at a cellular, energetic, and even at an ancestral level. So the kindness code, it's already inside of you. And so this isn't, just a fix. It's a remembering your solid connections with those aspects of you that can feel good. It is possible. Your original frequency that you were born with is kind, it's connected, it's radiant. And the inflammation, trauma, and fear that obscure the signals of healing, you're just remembering how to be yourself again. And kindness is not a learned behavior. It's your original signature. It's the frequency that you came in with. So what are some action steps that you can take in this, I'm calling it the kindness code experiment. So could you consume probiotic rich foods? And there is this special yogurt. And could you track your emotional tone to see how you felt once you went on probiotics? Could you like breathe light into your gut and talk to your gut and just exhale any energetic toxins? And then go in the comments section and make comments. If you've done something like this before, if you're going to try it, come back and let us all know what you noticed. So in this particular strain, it's Dr. William Davis, and again, tons of YouTube videos. In this particular strain is what he noticed the human diet, at least in our Western culture, maybe in the United States, is that there was a certain bacteria that's missing, a certain microbe that's missing. And so he goes into it a lot in his book. And then the way that you make yogurt is you do, it's like a water bath at a perfect degree temperature, and you just mix it all up together, put the probiotic in and let it sit for a couple of days, and then you have your yogurt. And I'm fortunate my mom makes mine. So I don't know. I'm excited. I wish someone had told me this a long time ago. And so that's what inspired me to make this video. And so again, I'm not saying it's the be-all, end-all answer, but it's certainly worth a try. And the outcome results that I have had, it does. As a nurse, it really excites me to the potential of connecting with our inner light that helps us connect with all the lights around us in a really kind and caring and desire to be with other people, right? All right, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me with all this tech talk, but I would love to hear what you know about it. All right, everyone. Take care. See you in the next teaching.